What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So I've had the MacBook Neo for a little over a week now, and I want to talk about the pros and cons that I've noticed of using this computing machine. Now, obviously, I want to say right off the bat, this machine is not meant for me. It's definitely meant for those who are not really in the creative workspace. Again, I use a currently MacBook Air, an M4 MacBook Air as my main work machine. I also do have a M4 Mac Mini for my home setup, but this has just been great, and I've done some slight tasks, dabbling into the creative workflow, and it truly has been great. But let's get right into the design and the build. And I think this is the part that Apple got right. It's the design. Even though it's Apple's most affordable MacBook, it still feels like a premium, I would say $1,000+ MacBook. Like, just the design. It's got that aluminum chassis, clean Apple design. It's got 4 different colors, with this one being indigo, and I really like this indigo, but check them out in stores because sometimes video doesn't really do it 100% justice. It's got a decently large trackpad, and the keyboard clicky, it doesn't have a backlit keyboard, but that's one of the compromises. However, this laptop is pretty lightweight. It's extremely easy to carry around, and it's pretty portable because of that 13-inch display. Now, the compromises with this design, obviously, they had to cut corners, right? There's no MagSafe charging, and there's only USB-C ports, USB-C 3.0 and then 2.0, so there's no Thunderbolt ports, and one of them is going to be taken up by charging, especially, let's say you're working and you need 2 ports, but you also need to charge your laptop, then yeah, it's going to be pretty rough. And yeah, that connectivity, like having micro SD or SD card slot, and then like an Ethernet port or Ethernet HDMI port, MagSafe, those are left to the higher end, the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pros, respectively. Like, MacBook Pro has all of the ports, MacBook Air doesn't have, HDMI and SD card and things like that. So that's one of the downsides you may notice. However, it does have a headphone jack, and then the side firing speakers, they're dual side firing speakers, and they get decently loud. But overall, I like this design. You don't get the notch right here. It's thicker bezels all around, but I prefer this over the notch. And again, getting into this display, the 13-inch liquid retina, it gets up to 500 nits of peak brightness. And honestly, using this at home and browsing the web, it's sharp, bright, great for reading text, good for watching videos. I mean, if you're just going to use this, again, to stream, like Netflix, watch YouTube videos, like I watched a lot of YouTube videos on this, and it's been pretty good. For a laptop at this price, it's going to be great and impressive. Again, text has been so far crisp, colors look vibrant, and it's more than good enough for schoolwork or everyday use. If you're taking this to school, take it to coffee shops, and there's this whole thing about people like, oh, picking up the MacBook Neo in the different colors and not going to Starbucks and showing it off, and there's all this stigma going on. But regardless, wherever you take this, especially indoors, it's going to do great. Outdoors, it does get a little rough, but it's not too bad. I've been using it indoors for the past week. I just tested it out outdoors just briefly, and it was not the greatest, but it's not super bad either. However, it is a budget laptop, so you gotta keep that in mind. This display only supports the sRGB color gamut rather than the wider P3 color used on MacBook Air and Pro models. So again, if you're doing something like professional photo editing or color sensitive work, this would be like a starting machine, but obviously if you want to get into more detailed things, you'd want to upgrade. Now, when we get into the software and the performance, this is where the MacBook Neo gets interesting. Instead of an M series chip, Apple was like, you know what, let's throw in the A18 Pro chip, the same chip architecture used in the iPhone 16 Pro. So the chip includes a 6-core CPU, 5-core GPU, and a 16-core neural engine. And for everyday tasks, performance has been pretty good. So again, things like web browsing, writing documents, watching videos, running productivity apps. And the main productivity app that I like to use is Notion. But again, like browsing the web, if I'm researching, like I'll go on GSM Arena to look up upcoming news about devices, and also write documents on Google Docs. It's been pretty good. Watching YouTube videos of my subscription list on YouTube, catching up That also has been great. Now, obviously, you may have come across, if you're into like these types of things like benchmark scores, you may have come across the early benchmarks show that this chip does deliver very strong single core performance. I'm not really testing those, but I gotta tell you, if those are the things you're looking to do, especially like writing documents, Excel files, PowerPoints, everything a high school student or college student would do, then yeah, I think this is going to be great. If you want to get into more, again, creative workflows or like beginner coding, it's going to do fine. But again, if once it gets into more heavy workflows, that's where you're going to start to see it struggle just a little bit. But of course, it's got some cons. So the biggest limitation here is memory. Now, one may argue, well, if you're picking this up, memory shouldn't be an issue, right? But 8 gigs of unified memory, it's not the greatest. It's okay, like it's fine for this, and surprisingly, I haven't had any problems. However, over time, how long will it last? That I don't know. I actually don't know why I'm losing. It's trying to find Wi-Fi right now. Okay, reconnected, good. And it's got 256 gigs of starting storage. But the base model, I don't have the base model. I have the 512 gig storage model, because with that, you also get Touch ID, and something I just preferred. But again, for basic use, this is going to be fine. However, again, if you start doing heavier multitasking, running virtual machines, or editing large media projects, you might start to feel the limitations. And I think that's where you're going to want to look elsewhere. Now, the biggest thing, obviously, is going to be the battery life with the MacBook Neo. This has been pretty good. Honestly, Apple claims up to 16 hours of battery life, but in everyday use, like because of doing those things, researching, writing, watching videos, I go like 3 days. I've went 3 days without charging this. So yeah, the only downside, charging speeds, they're all right, which I don't really care. Like once I charge my MacBook, I'm not going to be using it for a while, so I'm not in any rush. But the MacBook Neo, again, it charges through USB-C, no MagSafe, and you're going to take up one port, and because it's not the fastest charging, if you're in that realm of I need fast charging, then this may not be that computing machine for you. I think more of the downside for me is not having MagSafe, just because I'm so used to having MagSafe. The only thing happens is like when I'm out on the go, like if I'm traveling for like a couple days, then I'll just bring one USB-C cable to charge, or 2 USB-C cables, whatever the case may be, like just one general cable to charge all of my computing machines and all of my gadgets. However, if I go like 2-3 weeks somewhere, then I end up bringing MagSafe. So it's something I just had to keep in mind with this MacBook Neo. If I were to go anywhere, just, I don't have that access to MagSafe. Regardless, the battery life is pretty good, at least in my use case. Now, after a week with the MacBook Neo, I've also tested Final Cut Pro. It's been okay. Like, it stutters here and there. Now, if you have 4K footage and like 4 or 5 streams, you're going to start to notice the lag. It takes forever to export. I got to tell you that. Much longer. And when I say forever, I don't mean like forever, but it takes like an extra minute or two longer than my MacBook Air. And in most cases, that's just for like a really quick video. Imagine if I tried like a 15-16 minute video. I'm not even going to push it that far just yet because, well, I'm still using the machine and I don't want to go and try to, add an entire workflow on this MacBook Neo when I need to push out videos at a certain date and schedule and things like that. But the pros here, again, I think this is Apple's most accessible MacBook. It's got great design, excellent everyday performance, solid display, long battery life, very affordable price. And I say that in terms of Apple's realm. You may say, okay, well, it's not $400, and for me, my budget is $400. That's a different story. But for Apple's realm, this is their most affordable MacBook. Again, trade-offs, for some, I think for most people buying this, I don't think 8 gigs of unified memory is going to be a trade-off, but for some it may. Limited ports, no MagSafe, and again, it's not designed for those heavy professional workloads. I don't think Apple really intended this to be meant for professional workloads anyway, but you just gotta have to mention that as well. So if you're a student, casual user, or high school student, college student, doesn't matter, or just someone who wants a simple Mac for everyday tasks, the MacBook Neo is actually a really good option. But again, if you need more power, flexibility, you've got the MacBook Air or even the MacBook Pro. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to super my like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check the link in the description down below of my latest wallpaper pack. It is called Aura Layers, links down below. And yes, this is my Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, rocking a Pixel Watch 4. I'm just testing tech all over. So stay tuned. Lots of videos are coming to the channel really soon. I'll catch you all in the next episode.